Good morning, everybody. Oh, another whipsaw on that jobs report. Like, oh, they loved it. Fewer people, fewer jobs, and then we realized, uh-oh, back down it went. So technically, where are we at? Well, I'm starting with the futures this morning. You can see they're still in an uptrend. It'll be in an uptrend unless it breaks this prior low. Uh, you can see that the momentum is stalled. So here's where the move started and was very nice upward momentum, pullback, which back at the time this pulled back, I was hopeful that it would get down here. So it would have a larger space to move up to the prior high. Well, that didn't happen. So now we read this as momentum is slowing. Those that look at indicators, depending on settings, what they'll find is, they're got overbought and it pulled back a bit, and now it's making a lower high. So we don't use these for those that are new. This is how we read slowing momentum, the difference between the highs. And so now prices are pulling back, and they're pulling back here toward the 20. So on that report, this was a green bar, wasn't much of a change, really not a big deal as of yet. We'll see, as we always do, where the day ends. Let's change this here. Where the day ends. So far, just an inside day, no big deal. The numbers have said that the Fed's going to raise a quarter point, and so now we got this whipsaw that typically occurs on news, and we'll see how it all shakes out. So we had the down day yesterday. Came into the support level that we reviewed yesterday morning. Buyers stepped up and came up around this area here, which I pointed out, and things kind of just went dead for most of the day after that. Here's your whipsaw, and this looks like it's going to come back down and test this area, which is yesterday's low. And we'll see what it does from there. You've got all of this congestion. It's been tested once. So in a way, it's weakened it. And that's how we view prior support and resistance. Has it ever been used before as a reference point? And if it has, it becomes less potent as a reference point. And so while we had all of this congestion there, now you've just got this pivot low. And if it gets down there, it'll stop. It'll jiggle around. We'll see what it does and whether it should go sideways. And we'll see if it rises back up or whether it falls back down to this major support area here. I don't think it'll get down there today, because things just aren't moving very much. I think we're going to get more of a, go nowhere kind of a day. But, we got the rising 20 MA there, and we'll look at spiders, but we got a rising 20 MA and we've got that pivot. We'll probably test that and just hang around there. And, in the middle of the day, we'll just assess what the reaction is to this area and we'll take it from there. From an intermediate term perspective, momentum is slowing. We're getting so far a correction through time, right? Sideways and up and down. And ultimately, by the end, well, sometime next week, we'll see if it holds this low or not. And by the end of the day today, what we want to see from the bullish point of view is this day really not get much more moving lower. It's already retraced about halfway into this green bar. And we don't want to see this come down to major support today from the bullish point of view. Just too deep a retracement, trend starts to change, and we'll just see how that shapes up. And we'll go to the spiders, if this will change for me. I think I'm getting froze up here. Hold on. I'm going to have a problem here, Dan. We'll see what happens.
Good morning. Looks like Greg got locked up here. So let me just do my little gap review and then he can come in and finish his stuff. Right. Spiders. Yeah, good morning all. Happy 0DTE. The day I looked, so 0DTE expiring options. You don't have any gap risk. Provided we go through our checklist, of course, find the pattern, premium, liquidity, etc. All right, so we got an uptrend. I heard what he was saying there. It looks like we're going to retest this little whip around on the 830 numbers, and it's going to be about retracement. Right now, the weekly is a beautiful 1, 2, 3. We never want to see more than closing 50% into that wide range bar, or it puts the prior strength into question. And notice how it's far from the 20. So we just need more data here, day trading and our individual patterns. Let's see, earnings, where are you, Levi? At earnings, gapping down to this prior low. Let's see what it does. I'll put that right here. Costco had some same store sales gapping down. That would be a nice 0DTE call spread. If there's any juice, Weight Watchers 1, 2, 3. I posted that as a long calls in the money calls, because if we buy the $7 calls over $8, it should only be a nickel. And so that nickel of time value is a very small insurance premium to get the benefit of leverage and limited risk. Because then even if we're stopped out, we will lose less money than had you been long the stock over $8. Fizzler here, I read got a $1 billion line of credit. I'm going to put that in a window. It could be a double bottom retest for a put spread. About tan. Tan looks horrible. That's a breakdown. It's a bear sandwich. I'm sorry, a bull sandwich breakdown on the monthly. So the sector looks horrible. I also have fiber on my list here from yesterday. Where are you, fiber? Right up here. This looks a little similar. Look at this nasty downtrend. Breakdown on the weekly, breakdown on the monthly. This thing used to be $335. I feel like doing a trade of the week called, and you can do the math, whatever that is. Something down over 90%. Is it a long or a short? Then you would think long, it's down 90%. Are you crazy? This thing looks like a core short here at $25. Stop over this prior to the week's high. Looks horrible. Let's CSTL. Big old gap up here. This might be a bio, but now the gap's getting too big. When I first saw it, gap in the 16. And I thought it could be a day trade setup. A C drill broke out, pulled back. Let's see if it can stabilize. OTLK. I set an alarm. It was a nice breakout, daily, weekly, monthly, but weekly's extended. Has a ton of room on the monthly. Well, not a ton, but 250. Let's see what it does here. I set an alarm at 176. See what happens. Rhythm. You know, breakout failure, deep retracement, but there could be bounces. I got enough to watch this. I've been watching these REITs, a bunch of REITs here all week long. They had a favorable cover story in Barron's last weekend. And I love yesterday's bar. So Wednesday it broke out. Yesterday it gapped down, sold off, closed with a range expansion bar, breakout. Daily, weekly. So that looks fantastic. I'm going to put that in a window, although I have an alarm at 36, just in case it goes off with the market open. But that's a great pattern. Buy the high, stop yesterday's low because of the continuation bar. Munster here, big topping pattern under close with a topping tail. Do y'all remember that image from many years ago with the little cartoon, his nose sticking out, and then his left and right hand are like hanging onto the wall? That's what this reminds me of. It looks like a cliffhanger. It's like it's trying to hold. It's trying to hold. It's topping tail, closing at the low, and boom. So that is a short watch for me. Look at this big price void. Leaves a big void. I'm gonna put that in the window. Oh, HIG, I have on my other computer, I just noticed, HIG. We've been watching this for months. It's trying to break out, trying to break out, trying to break out. But I like the last 3 days action. Ideally, I won't do anything today, and then we can put it in the letter on Monday as a breakout trade. BXP up alarm just went off. Oh, I see one print here. It's 60. Now we're in this long, so I would love that to be a real print. Since it's not liquid, I have no idea. SBAC. Yeah, it's kind of a sloppy 1, 2, 3. Ideally, I'll get 1 or 2 more inside bars, and then next week it breaks out. Same with Visa. I don't like 1, 2, 3 as far from the 20. I like them from consolidation. So if I had an inside bar right here, then that would be a no-brainer. I always look at the cousins. Now, I actually like this one better as a new trade. So I'm gonna put this on my list. Oh, I have it right here. It's okay. I already have it. So I'm gonna set an alarm 394.50. We always do, look at competitors, and then I call it the A/B test. Which one's better? Home Depot, low, Coke, Pepsi. SLP. We missed this one yesterday, but that would have been a beautiful sell setup. that's what we call a potent reversal. But now it's down too much, gap and down. I think it had earnings or guidance or something or other, but too late to get on board. Baba had some news with China. 30-minute high. This would be a great 0 DTE put spread if there's juice. Slack, I think, got a downgrade. Another breakout failure here on the weekly. It's on horizontal support. Let's see what happens. GER. Penny stock, but something's up with it. We'll come back to it. UGI, we have as a short under yesterday's low. Starbucks, we shorted yesterday. Head and Shoulders daily. This is two patterns on the weekly. It's a 180 reversal, then a 1, 2, 3. And what makes that so superior is because last week's inside bar is 5 trading days, right? So that message is for 5 days, it could not bounce. And now you can see that clear as day on the daily chart, which is a microscope of the weekly. All right, Gulf Lima. And I see this reminds me a little bit of HIG, but now this is a closing breakout, daily, weekly. So I like this one. All right, we got volume. Let me check earnings. Let me post this to subscribers. This one looks great. The only hesitancy is the market. So I'm actually just going to post it as a long watch. And I will put it in another 5-minute window on my other computer. But, subscribers like when I give them a heads up on things because then, they might watch it and with their trading plan, get in earlier. Oh, that's RXST. Yeah, I forgot to post this. But this is a beautiful buy setup for the 1, 2, 3 weekly. So give me a second. I just forgot to send this to subscribers. RXST. Top 20 in May. And then we put it on our open spreadsheet as a pending trade. And now we're good to go. Fiber we talked about. C, bottoming pattern. Ideally, it'll give us a 1, 2, 3 for Monday. It's bottoming on the weekly with a bear sandwich. ABB, another REIT. A lot of these look similar, but I got my 180 on the weekly. I got my breakout from a double bottom monthly. Now VST is a 1, 2, 3. Let me set an alarm at 27 on that. That looks good. you know, it was a little far from the 20, but not as bad as Visa. Cream, we did a call spread yesterday. Upstart, there were so many patterns that were extended last week, but they have bullish weekly monthlies, and this is one of them. Intel, we were watching for it to stabilize at this 50. And that's what it did. Charlie Foxtrot's trying to make the turn. I have an alarm up here somewhere, but it really needs to get over Wednesday's high to move higher. SPG, another REIT, but that one's too extended for me now. AQIX, I'm watching it for setup. AVB, we talked about already. ATI needs to pull in and give us a setup, but as a breakout daily, weekly, monthly. Netflix. You know what, Rich? It could even be a 0 DTE condor. Could be a condor because it's opening flat, and so it's neutral. It's neutral, but I did post in Telegram that Microsoft over yesterday's high looks like a 0 DTE put spread. My alarm went off earlier. Let me reset. Because now I pulled in after the number. Or even next week. If it closes neutral, I like it as a swing trade for next week. You know, started off with this breakdown failure, recovered, you got a price void, bullish weekly. Looks good. SPGI, this is a beast. Watching for a pullback. Aries. Delta 20, Intel. Well, I was just talking about that. Delta 20, there's no great setup unless you wanted just to start legging into it as a longer term trade. I've been watching this for a few months because of the monthly. See the monthly here, a wide range igniting after a breakdown failure, bobbling around for 3 months. The problem is the daily, weekly are not bullish. So I would never swing trade this pattern because there's no pattern. But if you're wanting to scale in with a big old stop like the 200, then that's fine. That's fine. Just have the intent to add to it. CBRE. Greg, you're not going to believe this. Your Telegram sounds on my phone are not working now. After all that work. Oh, okay, now it just did. That's weird. I don't know. I had to open it up or something. Very weird. Okay, so CBRE broke out and is bullish price action. So that still looks good. A bunch of these are REITs here. Kim, same. It's up a lot though. So that's why I like this AMH better as a new trade because of yesterday's beautiful bar. So now, in essence, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bars of consolidation. So that one looks great. So this one could set up, but it's not ready. I need it to go sideways another day or two. EQR. This looks almost identical to that AMH thing. So these are my 2 favorite new ones right now. I'm going to set an alarm 6720. I have no idea where they're going to open up here. You know, with yields these are REITs, so they're gonna move around with yields too. 67, 20. Our XST alarm just went off. Oh, that was from yesterday though. All right, let's see. Yeah, 28, 28. All right, so that one might be going off. Here, I'll get rid of fiber here. Yeah, the one print just went off here, 28.91. All right, coins, you know, one I watch all the time. And I, you know, starting over here somewhere last week, I put it on my core long watch list. Look at this monthly. That's a monster inverse head and shoulder bottoming pattern with a target, you know, like 150. This thing can double. It's surely, you know, they ain't gonna do that in a week or a month or 3 months. So don't get all excited. But you know, we call cores weeks to months holding period. I mean, look at Apple. If you got in down here at this breakout in March, I mean, that would have been a 4-month hold already. But fiber, I don't have, not fiber, coin, I don't have a no-brainer entry on the daily or weekly without a monster stop because it went vertical here. So that's my problem with multiple time frame analysis. And this SOUN is in the AI field, so it's on my permanent watch. You know, nothing to do. Berkshire B, AMH alarm. Berkshire B is beautiful. Price action here that I don't know if that's all-time highs or what, but that's multi-month highs, daily, weekly. So Berkshire, and I like the fact that it's gapping down. So I'm going to set an alarm 341.50. And I just move on. RXST. All right, so let's wait for a pullback on this. I posted it over yesterday's high. All right, so AMH alarm. All right, that was just a quick little tail. I'm going to set a new alarm 3602. Monster low alarm. I mentioned as a short. Give Monster like 5-10 minutes, and that's a definite day trade short watch. I see Fizzler, you know, gap and go, but I doubt there's going to be any juice. Levi, yeah, UGI. Yep, my alarm went off. Yep, UGI's a go. Yep, I'll get to that. Let me go through these alarms. Alarm on EQR. I'm going to set alarm 6705. There's my Berkshire alarm just went off. Again, you know, so it quickly got up to there. It looks fantastic. IWM ripping here. All right, let's let's buy 30-minute high. Weight Watchers. Oh, that's an early alarm. Greg, where would you put your stock on Berkshire?